Okay, guys, welcome back. Today we're going to do some more testing, and we're actually going to test the three vehicles together, Bertha and Kiki, and the one that we're using as the Hyliion vehicle to test, theoretically speaking, their electrified powertrain solution that they have. We're interested in using that for disaster relief vehicles. And so we're really looking at a bunch of information and numbers back behind the scenes. What you're seeing is just the actual testing of the actual simulation of the vehicles. And even though we're using GTA 5 to test it on, we really built these to test on GTA 6. They have a lot more features, we believe, in what we'll need. And this whole thing will eventually be a disaster relief simulator. And it will allow us to bring other jurisdictions in, and we'll be able to run tests once a month with different jurisdictions. So it should be pretty cool once we're done. But just real quick, so people kind of understand what we are attempting to do here. These vehicles are purposely built to carry a lot of supplies that would be needed for any community following a disaster. And if you just take basically what's going on with California right now, these vehicles would be ideal for that. But not just the vehicles, the whole Bertha project concept is. And you look at what we have now, and we really only showcase about six vehicles. The whole idea is these storms are going to continue. They're continuing to get worse, most likely, at least for the next 50 years. We can expect this level of disasters, and like we see in California. And so, what the Bertha Project does is, for example, when you go and you interview people or in California that have dealt with the snow, with the floods, with the droughts, all of that has come just in the last year or so. One thing that happened during this snowfall or this blizzard basically, people in communities never saw anyone. They'd see a snowplow or nothing. They ran out of food, they ran out of water, they ran out of their medications. And so there's a gap in getting people aid. So you have the fire department, the police department that can't bring any of that stuff, right? The fire department doesn't give out water while they're running these incidents. The police department, they don't either. What eventually happens after a couple days or so long, you get National Guard may be called in to try to get to those people. The Bertha Project is designed where we don't have to make a lot of phone calls, right? It's an organization that's always going to be on the ready, right? All the vehicles are ready. Eventually, we'll have a bunch of backhoes and tractors and forklifts and anything that you would need, skid steers, different types of loaders, and they would be stationed all over America, so many in different states, but it would all be part of the Bertha Project. So what would happen, think of the Bertha Project like a volunteer fire department that starts up. Our volunteers are going to be retired firefighters and retired police officers. We have uniforms, we have trucks, we carry radios. Most of our, or all of our retired firefighters and police officers are already trained for disasters. Eventually, we'll end up allowing the military to come in, and then in some case, civilians to come in. So it would be basically an organization that you could join and you could be a part of, and you would train on our simulators once a month. No matter what state that you lived in, you would get a uniform. Eventually, you would get to Maryland and you would do your training there, initially, and then everything else would be done on a simulator. So when an incident like what's happening in California happens, we already have the Bertha and Kiki trucks all over the United States. All of the volunteers are already in these locations. They're already trained because we're being trained on a simulator once a month. They already have their uniforms in their closet. So when something like that happens, you don't have to make a lot of phone calls. There's a video that's online right now. Um, I think it's called Heavy D Sparks. Go check his video out and listen to him talk about what he had to do to get all of these people and equipment together just to go and help these people out in these communities. Well, the Bertha Project is designed similar like him, but the equipment that he's using, that's equipment that he's using to make a living with. And the tractor trailers and buses and everything that he had in the equipment, they actually have things that they use those equipments for every day. He has basically gotten all these people together, and when he had gotten to some of these locations, people were like, wow, we haven't seen anyone for, 15 days, 18 days. You're the first people we ever. The Bertha Project is designed to basically grow into exactly what this man did. But we will already be prepared. So instead of people not seeing anybody come to their community for 18 days, the Bertha Project would be dispatched within 24 to 48 hours to be on location. And so most people in that situation would see or at least hear about people being in the community within the first couple of days. You wouldn't go 2, 3 weeks and nobody would come around because the fire department is busy, the police department is busy, the National Guard's really not there. They have equipment, but they don't have the equipment to do everything they need to do quickly. The Bertha Project is designed to fill that with volunteers, starting out with, like I said, retired firemen, retired policemen. I'm a retired firefighter, and trust me, it would be a great thing to do when I hung up my fire department uniform to be able to join something like the Bertha Project and basically put on a new uniform and have a normal job and make a living. But since I'm retired and my kids are grown, to be able to know that I can go 2 or 3 days out and help on a disaster, and then when that disaster's over with, I can come back home again. And so that's what the Bertha Project is attempting to do. So we are looking for support from corporations, from people, from communities who want to start developing this, because something like this is not going to happen overnight. What that guy Heavy D Sparks did, that's incredible. But that's what the Bertha Project would do. But he may not be able to do that next time. And if so, he did that in California. How is he going to do that in Kentucky? How is he going to do that in Florida? How's he going to do that in New York City? That's the problem. You have a guy like that that's in California or wherever he's from. That's awesome. But he is just in California. What the Bertha Project is trying to do is no matter where those incidents happen, we have volunteers, all these retired firemen and policemen and military from around the country that all decide to put on the uniform of the Bertha Project, train on these vehicles, train on these simulators once a month. And when those incidents happen, we can already be dispatched. Listen, FEMA's going to do what FEMA's going to do. They're going to be there for you as well. But we need something to fill that gap. And so, what we're trying to do at the Bertha Project is to be what California is crying out for right now. That's who we're trying to be. We're trying to fill that gap for that California incident. We're not ready yet, but if we can get support, and we have a grant proposal that we're getting ready to submit to FEMA. But if we can get enough people behind us to get it off the ground, I think we could start running our first disasters probably by the middle of 2022 if people can get behind it quick enough. The Peterbilts are simply we can go buy the Peterbilt trucks anywhere and build the boxes on it. So you're talking about 6 months to build them. Everything else you can just basically buy off a lot. And of course, water and all the supplies, that's easy to get all of that stuff. So we want to get this up and running. We want to get these retired firemen and policemen who are sitting around doing nothing but drinking beer on the weekends or whatever. Get them part of our team. Get them back in training. A lot of these guys were instructors, where they came from in the police department and fire department. Start training other people and get the simulator up and running, where once these people join, once a month we all have training. And what training do we use? These vehicles that you're getting ready to see right here. These are, if you're a driver of Bertha and Kiki, that's what you'll train on your month of training. If you're a tractor trailer driver, you'll train on our tractor trailer, and so forth and so on. And then we'll have the novitiate nuns that are going to be part of this. Each firehouse style that we built or that we build will be a community rec center. So as these things start to pop up in all these different states and locations, there's a lot of good that goes into it. So you have to go to our website and see exactly what we offer. But the biggest thing is just take time, go to YouTube, look at what has happened in California, listen to some of the stories, go over and check Heavy D Sparks' video out and see what he's done. And like I said, he just pulled a lot of equipment together. For us, the Bertha Project, we will basically do exactly what he did, but we'll already be prepared. We'll already have the equipment, we'll have the people, everybody will be trained. So it won't take us 2 weeks to get there, and we won't have to figure out what we're doing. Because why? Because we'll be training every month on the simulator. And so we just need people behind us. We need to show FEMA that we have enough people who care about it and think what we're doing is something that's needed and necessary. And like I said, we don't take cash donations. That's not how this works for us. And so if you just go to our website, there's plenty of stuff there that you can buy and own and show your support. That helps, and that goes a lot farther. If you want to give us $20, we rather you go buy a Bertha.com sticker and put it on your lunchbox or whatever, and tell people, hey, we're supporting this. How you support it? Well, I bought this sticker. It costs $10 for the sticker or whatever, and the proceeds, that they make from this goes directly into the Bertha Project. So we have a lot of stuff over there, from sweatshirts to anything, and it just shows your support. And that's the way you donate. You donate by actually getting something tangible to you. And so anyway, so enjoy the vehicles.